Warning, this video is intended for audience who are 13 or older. If you are not 13 or older, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online.
Why are we
Tariq
here? Just to suffer?
Okay, we're back. Oh boy, look. We need to know everything that happens within this universe, alright?
Okay, so... Oh my god, how... Sometimes you look back at your life and you go, how did I get here? How did I get to this point? And I've got to say...
Like, well, what's the flash?
Yeah, where did things go wrong? Right? And I gotta say, I think it all started with Kamen Rider Saber, and it continues to be Kamen Rider Saber. The minute Toma kicked that fire hydrant,
do you think this is Saber's fault, or is this the coronavirus?
I think it's the minute Toma kicked that fucking fire hydrant in episode 1, everything went wrong.
Hey look! Maybe we'll get the original Saber concept one day. You know, they make books, right? Maybe they'll release a stupid novel about the original Saber concept, which was way better. Yeah.
Was this? When did this come out? Broadcast-wise,
so it was released. So this was a Blu-ray extra,
but when was that Blu-ray released?
I am looking up right now. So according to this, August 4th, 2021. Right, so I'm looking at that.
It was at the very end of Saber. Like,
pretty much, yeah. I am looking around. It is literally like the last episode. It was released between episode 44 and 45.
So this was available to the audience in general in August of 2021.
Yes, us.
Okay. Just because it's only been so recently available thanks to the kindness of people translating it and doing it in a totally legal and no illegal uploads way.
Yeah, in a legal available way. You know, people bought. You know, like you. And look, we always support the official release.
Oh my god!
We went out of our way to buy the Saber Blu-ray.
It's April. It's April of 2022, and we are going back to fucking Saber, and this is like such a fucking. We're back to Saber before Kento has even come back to fucking...
Yeah!
It's like, oh my god, what the fuck is... I know I had a fucking breakdown over fucking everything that Veil implied and everything, but Saber alone can't keep its shit straight. The only problem with Revice, like the only big picture issue that I have with Revice is, are they trying to just be punny? Like, are they just trying to make jokes, like, pun names with people? Or are they fucking, like, dropping clues of, like, or is there actually going to be a payoff to some of this shit? If they just decide to, like, be like, fuck it, nope, it doesn't matter. Like, why do we have Kamen Riders? We're never going to answer that question, you're never going to find out. It doesn't matter. If they go with that, fine, I'll accept that. But for now, it's like the fact that I don't know which one it is like that's the only thing that's like really bothering me. Saber doesn't know what the fuck.
I also think this is also really horribly placed.
Saber
as well.
itself doesn't know what the fuck to do with its own thing. Like it can't. Like whose story is it? What character to develop? How to develop any particular character? By the mere fact of us having this fucking spin-off video, it's like...
That puts character moments into this thing. I legit thought it was like, so the original Avatar was like, this is the story of Kento's fucking journey, right? What happened to... What did Kento see when he peered into the darkness,
good, very bad time with the, again, sword of fucking goddamn, future premonitions.
Dimension.
Like... That the dimension slashing, reviving a corpse, right? Like stealing the souls, I guess, but also keeping the whole body, like absorbing people into the shadow realm, and then also you get it's like Nightmare's sword and fucking Soul Calibur. right? Like, it just fucking possesses
Yeah.
you, and then you get fucking, like, future visions, and you command it to do its, like, bidding. Like,
Yeah.
it's a wild thing to just be like, yeah, this is how we do it. Like, at this point, I honestly, I almost feel bad for the actors, because I don't know if they were told that this was side stuff, or if the director, like, editors, like, just made a choice at the end, like, yeah, we can't fit this in this episode, so we're just gonna cut that off and put it in, because it...
I mean, there is stuff here that definitely feels like there was stuff that that was supposed to be in the main episode, and there's something here that are definitely 100% something like, we have time. Let's film two siblings that have very strong sexual tension between one another all of a sudden.
Is it really reciprocal? Because it really just feels like one side of a very uneven ship. Like, oh man, I was having this conversation with people because, hey, look, friendship with My Hero Academia is done. It's all about Tiger and Bunny again now. We're back to where we all started and where it needed to always stay. Back to Tiger and Bunny. I found out that like in the producer's own like, or in parts of like the production team's own like references, sometimes they're like, yeah, I mean, Tiger and Bunny are partners. You know what we mean. And it's like, but they also said like, it's up to your interpretation. And if you look at those two characters, you go, I mean, they annoy each other. That's probably the closest thing you could say. Like, they're close, but they also annoy each other. And I don't know if that's... It feels like you're making sexual tension out of just two people being, like, really close friends. This is like...
Hey, look, you know what they say? Hey, look, it's Roger and Steve, you know?
Not Adam and Eve. But, like...
Yeah.
With the fuck, what's her name? They're both... Yeah, Reika and Ryoga. Like,
yeah, I keep forgetting the brothers.
Well, I know they're both our names. I'm trying. It's Shindai, right? Jesus, it's all coming back to me. With the twins or siblings, it's not clear really if they're twins or not. But it's like
they're not. I think they're 1% siblings. I'm pretty sure Ryoga's the older brother,
I believe
and she's the younger sister.
It's like it to me. It always feels like she's just horny for no reason, and he's like somehow completely oblivious to the fact that she wants to bang her brother and won't let any other woman near him. But like he's never questioned. I mean, to be fair, they really like live and like have worked for a cult. Once again, back to our whole thing of like cults and insurrections, right back where we started.
Also, I love the reasoning he gave. Like, I don't want her to be raised to be in this right to join this. Like, I'm pretty sure weren't you guys born in this? Because this is not that they serve. Like,
it was implied. It was implied like their family was like it's part of their like family honor and everything. Like the Shindai name is like a long line of like
Hyuga Clan
followers of Master Logos and all that.
Yeah. Right, it's like the branch family and the main family, whatever, right? Like, yeah, you know, they figure, right? Like, oh no, our family has been serving the wherever the fuck Master Logos is.
The Sword of Logos, fucking, which is the organization. Master Logos, the fucking man.
Yeah, right, since the beginning, and I don't know why his video is like, oh, I don't want her to be, like, what do you mean you don't want her? She's been raised in this thing.
And she also showed up way earlier than him and has been a more, like, integral part of the plot than him. I mean, I get it, he's got King Crimson powers, but, like, still. Yeah.
Right? It's really weird. So hey, this is Sword of Logos Part 2, by the way, or Sword of Logos Saga. So here's my problem with this, right? So we assume as this premiered or was released in between, like, the last few episodes of the series, right? Worst possible place to be like to release this side media. At least with Revice, or at least when Saber was airing, like the side media they were releasing were coherent with what was airing at the exact same time, right? Because I believe when we got Sword of Logos Part 1, right? It's like, that's when Kento came back or some shit. And we're like, oh boy, what, right? Or at least that's when we started trying to figure out the big conspiracy of hey, it turns out the sword cult might actually be a real cult.
But then also,
right? turns out you can't trust organization and the higher ups,
and maybe
right?
And maybe they're just puppet governments too that have been installed by some false narrative like shit. Like,
right? It's really crazy how this was released, and it's like, and it turns out that this was released like towards the end, but it acts like what's the big mystery? Even though all the big mystery has been pretty much established or confirmed by this point 100%. In time. Like this was not planned out. Like this was not planned out. This feel like this should have been released like I don't know, like 10 episodes way earlier. Like if this was released 10 episodes way earlier, and we got like a Sword of Logos Part 3 or some shit, I don't know, that has like Storyists as the main narrative, right? Right? Because Sword of Logos Part 1 was Daimijo, right? Fuck, the first
Buster.
No, not Buster.
Daichi Kamijo or whatever.
Yeah, Daichi, right? Like the first one was Daichi, and he's like, and his whole thing, like, hey, what's going on with Logos, right? And then we had Sword of Logos Part 2 with the master, with Isaac. Oh yeah, I remember his name, Isaac, right. Giving us this narrative. And then we had Sword of Logos Part 3 with Storyists. I would have been way more fine with how the narrative was being acted. But the fact that they just released this like all the way towards the end, and Isaac is the main narrative guy, and he's dead by this. I'm like, hey, you guys really, you guys didn't
it's not only that out. He's dead, but I'm pretty sure
you did not correlate with the marketing department.
Was Tassel dead by now? Had Stories killed him? I feel like
Yes, because this is like near the end of the episode, right, of the series, so he's definitely dead.
And it's also because it's like this is an episode that is literally just a bunch of like character development that we never got with characters, and it just feels like it could only have been. It could only have been, like, on... It feels like it had to have been during regular recording, and then they just went, nah, we're gonna... actually, you gotta cut some of this, like... Because at the end of the day, when you're doing production, you're not in control.
Let's save some of this... Let's save some of this footage for the Blu-ray release, right?
That sweet, sweet Blu-ray...
Right, because I think...
Blu-ray release.
Because I believe, at least with the Japanese... They released every Blu-rays in arcs, right? Right, so it's like, I know Saber Part 1 was like episode 1 through 16, which was like the original Caliber arc or some shit, right? Right, but by the time this get released, it was already in the middle of the end of the season. Like if the second Blu-ray release for this one was released like right around the same time where we find out the Sword of Logos conspiracy, but before we go into the whole Storyists big shebang, I would have been more fine with it, right? Yeah, but no, this is like no one communicated with Dave in marketing. Like no one went out to Dave in marketing like, hey, when do we release this? And, right? It's just like no one planned this out.
God,
it's really crazy.
And they just choose to. God, there's nothing. It's like I'd almost say that there's nothing gained from this, but it's only because. It's only because there was so much lacking in Saber that this actually adds something. But it doesn't... It isn't... It's only a positive because we were already in a fucking deficit, of character development, character moments, and, backstory, and, having things where we just, literally fleshed out these fucking characters. It just...
Right, even then... even the characters that they showed, the whole Ren and Disaster, would have been nice, but we already wrapped up their whole character interaction.
It feels like it could have been
the only one that,
it feels like a flashback episode that, they forgot to air.
Yeah, right? Like the not Kento, fuck. Is it Kento? Is that who Espada?
Which one are we talking about?
Espada,
Kento.
That's Kento. Right, this Kento stuff is important, right? Like this stuff feels like it should have been its own fucking actual side episode series, like what they're doing with Hiromi right now. Hey, what's going on with Hiromi, right? But the fact that they shove his whole oh yeah, this is what happened to Kento when he fell into the Shadow Realms. And how he came out, right? This one just felt like this should have been
the other thing is because this covers so many different. Because wasn't the first Sword of Logos the back story? It told us all of the previous swordsmen?
Yeah, the Sword of Logos pretty much just focused on Daichi and him figuring out that right? But this one has like 5
that's what I was
different
say. Is
narratives
like
going on,
the
which
fact
is
that
insane.
it's split between like it's Isaac monologuing to Tassel. It's Kento getting fucking traumatized by a goddamn future sword, and it's the fucking like siblings desperately trying to not, at least the sister desperately trying to not bang her brother. Like there's nothing.
It's just crazy how this is organized. Like still like I would understand if this was like the silly stuff is fine, but the fact that you do like the big thing about like, hey, Kento's like, oh yeah, boy, this is my journey about how we're gonna stop the future. And they just cut to fucking 2 characters fighting over a bowl of ramen.
Yeah, and
like,
then you cut, and then after that you cut to the siblings just like expositing about their fucking past and like all of their like family stuff over like tea.
It's insane how this is organized. I couldn't believe this. Like I legitimately thought one day I was like, okay, Isaac is just setting up. I thought Isaac was just gonna be like the narrator, right? Like how Tassel's the narrator for the main series, and then we cut to Kento's fucking conspiracy. Him with the mask saying who is the master of Logos, and then covering the conspiracy. But then they just keep cutting to other fucking character story like. I don't care why you get these characters. Why do we need to know what disaster and fucking
I mean, do you want us to feel? Do you want us to feel worse about like disaster dying? I mean, I guess that you succeeded at that. I mean, yeah, he was one of the only fucking fun characters because he just like. The fact is, we didn't need a bunch of like plot about him because he kind of like we got his deal. Like he's just a shit posting fucking monster that happened to. And he became a Kamen Rider out of fucking nowhere. But it was like, sure, he can fucking do that. And he's been, like out for fighting this whole time. So it's like, it's not, none of this is surprising. Like, at least with Disaster.
Yeah.
But, like, this stuff is like, we forgot. We forgot to show Kento sad in some kind of, you know what I think? It feels like they're trying to imply that he's, like, under, like, a bridge tunnel or something. I swear this is the same like Bad Touch dungeon that fucking Jesus Christ, Revice is getting completely pushed out of my brain. That Iki was like that Iki and Vice were like chained up to, just with different lighting. It kind of looks like it might just be that. Just filmed from like filled from an upward angle, looking up and like just turning on the fucking like warm lights instead of just dank, creepy dungeon lights.
Like Toei only has so many it only has so many filming locations,
which is why we get the wonderful reminder that 110% the only real prop that was there in the fucking sort of Logos like throne room or whatever was the throne, the steps, and maybe the floor, and the rest is just a bunch of people sitting around a green screen. Like that's it. It's not even a well rendered green screen. Like the graphics look like shit. Like it's.
I mean, look, that's Toei CGI, right? Also, we actually see the sages in this thing, but even we only see them as ghosts as well. When I was watching, I was like, wait, they showed the fucking sages. Remember those characters?
It's just, hey, they're valuable to the plot too, guys. I promise.
Hey, look, they're reminding us all these important elements of Saber that they forgot to establish, right?
It's kind of like if you wrote an essay like really fast and turned it in, and then your teacher said, "This is shit." Like you could have done like they gave you their notes and like the corrections and like you got a C plus, right? But it was like they're like it's not good, but like you could definitely do better. And then you came back and like handed them in like a paragraph that was like, oh, actually, that wasn't the whole thing. This is like, this was if I had I would have put this in between the third and fourth pages, and it's just like literally all of the stuff that you just took from like your teacher's notes and just went, No, you can't just add this now. That's not how this works. Like, fuck no. You made a bad product. You can't fucking, like, fix it now. That's not how that works.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Right?
It's... Oh, boy.
Wait, I'm rewatching this thing right now in the background. I feel like there's actually a section with the Roddy Rough boys as well.
That too.
Right? That's
yeah.
so many
well,
sections
no, technically, wasn't that just Disaster back? Oh man, they showed Disaster. I can't tell if we're actually supposed to imply that Disaster really cried because of them, like, shit talking him, or if it's just like, no, it's just he's like, he's doing the like Vice thing of like, oh, I can't believe this sucks. I'm being overly dramatic for comedic effect, but, like, I don't know.
At least, I know they had Disaster shit posts in real life, but I think in show, he was real, like a, quote-unquote, real, like an actual character, not a character that breaks
I get.
Wall
His Instagram posts I think differed, but
I don't know, but in real life they had him be a fourth wall character, but within the show's context,
I'm just saying that like it doesn't
like an
act. It's like
it
seems weird to imply that like he cried when they.
Yeah, no, it's really funny. It turns out the reason why he left the fucking Roddy Rough boy was because they said mean things about him.
Yeah, I guess.
Right? It makes no sense from his character perspective, right? I was like, oh. It turns out the secret to defeating Disaster, right, was just to say mean stuff about him,
guess.
you know? That was his real weakness. Not the fact that he was dying. Despite the fact that,
like, fucking
cancer.
Ren was consistently bad. Like, I mean, they were both bad to each other, but it's like, yeah, we're both gonna be toxic, so I guess, like, it's so weird. I don't know. It's just a...
Right. Also, the worst was not everybody watching. This is not part of a narrative. Like they're just cutting to random. Like I don't think this is this is not even like a day and of right. Like this is when like all this happens within a day. This feels like they're just cutting to like random moments in time for these like actual deleted scenes like you were talking about earlier. Not everybody watching this again in the background like there's no narrative to any of this. Like it's just random like vignettes that were basically going on in this fucking in this thing.
Yeah.
Right?
And again, it's like, because if you took each of them to like in pieces, you took the Ren Disaster plot, the Shindai siblings plot, the Isaac and Tassel plot, and the fucking Kento's just nightmare dreams in a tunnel plot.
Yeah,
and you took them if you cut them out separately, they'd probably be about 3 to 5 minutes each, because I mean it was like a 19-20 minute video. Like and it feels like it's the kind of thing where when you like anytime you try to do some kind of like performance, whether it's like doing just like a presentation to the class, or if it's just like actually making a video project, it's like you start realizing how short a minute can be, and also how long a minute can be, and it's like it feels like if you cut some of these up and just sprinkled them in to some of this shit that was happening into Saber, you would have been fine. Or just have slightly longer episodes. Just slightly longer. Like, but nope, we gotta make time to have... Like, think about how much time we could have saved if we cut out every single one of Tassel's introductions at the beginning. I'm not saying that by the end of it, like, clearly Tassel was God, but, like, imagine the amount of time they could have saved and used to put in these fucking, like, character points. It feels like they completely missed the mark on stuff. Like it just
like I don't understand the narrative of this OVA episode thingy, right? It makes no sense from a narrative point, right? Because at least with the first one, right, it was an actual narrative. Like, hey, find out what happens within like this 3-day period of Daimyo figuring out what happened. right? To the fact that hey, the government might be mad. It sounds like he's working the shadow organization he's working might be up to something shady, you know, right? At least that was like an actual narrative for us to follow. But this is just vignettes of random events, and we're supposed to be like, oh, okay, right? That doesn't feel like that. Most of them don't feel like they're. I mean, they're nice, but they're like.
You know what it is?
You know what it is?
Like, it's like. It's like if you bought a bunch of food to like make a nice dinner, and then at the end you just had a bunch of fucking shit left over, and you're like, I don't know, just scrape all the leftover stuff in a bowl, and we'll fucking like that's. Yeah, I mean, there you go.
Yeah, pour some sauce.
Like, oh man, I needed like 3 tomatoes for this recipe, and I have 5. I'll toss these 2 extra tomatoes in. Oh man, why do I have like 7 potatoes left? Oh, okay, I'll throw in the potatoes too. Oh, I still have some leftover chicken that I cooked. Yeah, that can go in there. Take this rice. I'll fry. I can throw it in the pan and fry it. That'll make it good, right? Yeah, okay, I'll also throw some beef on top of this chicken. Yeah, like, I've got 3 strips of beef. That'll go. And it's like, oh, this got bad, guys. This didn't go right. This was a mistake. But, yeah,
right, it's really, yeah. Right, you know, it's like real funny. Like I would have liked it better if this was like one character telling the vignettes, right? Right. But the problem is that none of these, none of these characters knows what any other. Okay, maybe probably Tasso knows what's going on, right? Like if it was just a Tasso telling the OVA, right, saying, "Oh yeah, this is what happened."
If this had been introduced as like Tasso, like being like, let me tell you a story that I forgot to tell you. Oops. My bad. Like, that could actually work, but instead it's just like
it's Isaac who's telling, but he's like,
but he doesn't. I don't think he really knows what's happening. They're just taking convenient quotes. Again, this is why I'm like, I don't know that the actors even knew that they were like fucking like.
Right, like they didn't know what these scenes they were filming for,
like, because I imagine that it was like maybe they the director was like cut for like episode 45 or something, and then they were like, okay, cool, and then it was like, so I've been hearing from my family that scene that I was in didn't come out. Hey director, where the fuck's my fucking scene? He's like, don't worry about it, it's in the Blu-ray. Why? It's like, we're gonna take all those parts, we didn't have time for them, we're gonna smush them all together and put them in a separate, secluded thing.
Yeah, it'll work. It'll make sense. We got a whole narrative.
Yeah, trust me. People are calling me the Zack Snyder of Kamen Rider. I've got it all pieced together. I've got it all figured out. I promise.
Oh boy. Oh my. Look. Just
release the Snyder cut of Saber. Is all I'm saying. Where's my Snyder cut?
Oh boy, you want the original vision of Saber where it was Toma going around fighting everyone to figure out what happened to Luna?
Be real. That's still a better thing. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, at least the original cut had an actual storyline that they developed before they completely scrapped it, right?
Well.
See, that was the biggest tragedy that happened to Saber. The coronavirus.
Yeah, I guess so.
Right? I'll forgive the coronavirus for many things, but not this.
Yeah.
This is where I draw the line.
Forget that Saber. It isolated us from people, ruined regionals, had something to do with probably killing fucking Regis Philbin, Chadwick Boseman, fucking goddamn Betty White, like, ignoring all of that. How dare they ruin Saber?
Yeah, how dare it ruin the original theory of the original storyline of Saber? Yeah. All right.
No, because I really don't want. The less time with Saber, the better, as it always is.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Saber anymore, right? And with the worst part, we still have 2 more goddamn Saber media to fucking talk about.
Just let it die.
Right.
Just stop. Yeah. He's already dead.
I mean,
literally, some of these characters are already dead
because it's over. Right? Hey, if you think they're dead, wait till the side media happens and shows what's happens next for these characters.
As they are wanting to do with goddamn Kamen Rider Saber.
Alright, that's the end of this video. Coronavirus is still a thing. Wash your hands, wear a mask, get your shots. The booster's a thing now. Okay, thanks, bye.